We're doing this the second time. Oh yeah, and I shaved because I really didn't want to let one of you guys get there first. So, glasses off this time. I can't see anything. I feel like a baby in multiple ways. Where am I? Oh boy. Alright. How likely do you think it would be that humans last another 1,000 years without killing ourselves off? As likely as it would be that we find a way to promote better people for us as the ideal instead of saying that we're great just by ourselves. That's how long it would take. As long as we do that, I think, as long as we learn to idealize the better things in life instead of being okay with what we have and not necessarily saying that this is the best or exactly what we want, I think we're good. What do you attribute the biggest successes in your life to? How about your largest failures? This is weird because I thought about this question, but at the same time I feel like I have no answer. I attribute the biggest successes in my life to when I have actually dealt with an issue that was interpersonal and dealt with it well in a way where it allowed me to put that into my existing ability to continue. So, like, I had a girl that I already mentioned once in the past, and her name was Ashley. And effectively, she got me to be very, very honest with her in a relation, in like a conversation, pseudo relationship, whatever you want to call it. Wasn't there yet, but it was going. And I basically took that and ran with it. And that's something that I really hold to myself. Like, thank God I finally got that through my head. Things like that. Also, my ability to keep up things I know that are better for me. If freedom is simply being able to do what you want, it's not. Are animals freer than humans? No. Freedom is the ability to get over and understand what is best and follow that to the best extent. You can do what you want, but if you're still held by your wants, then you're not free. Would you want to know you are going to die beforehand or suddenly die without warning? Oh boy. Let's see. Am I living my life to the fullest and best it could be? No. Would that push me over to that? Maybe. So I'd like to know when I was going to die beforehand so I could live the best possible life before then. And that answer might change if I end up becoming like Jesus Christ or something, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, to be honest. But you know, Jesus Christ 2020. Jesus. Man. Alright, is humanity headed in the right or wrong direction? We're headed in both directions simultaneously. I don't know why. These questions are always like posed as in like pick one of the better, but they're not right. They're not like, there's no right path here, so good luck. Anyway, we're headed in, it depends. So both, you guys who know typology know this, J-E-F-E-T-E. We're both heading in different directions, and one thinks one knows the best way, and one thinks one knows the best way, but they're both necessary. And we usually determine those as right or wrong directions. So we're headed in every direction we need to, and in ways that aren't entirely, they aren't the most efficient they could be in their own way. And when you aren't the most efficient in the way that you're in, it's going to come off as a harsh deficiency on the other side. So until we get that all said, we're going in both right and wrong. Why do I keep doing this? I don't know. Does the study of philosophy ever lead to answers or simply more questions? It leads to understanding, which is just basically your ability to answer and then spar off better questions, so both. There's a lot of boths here, guys. Conversation starters world. Come on, man. What is the best way for a person to attain happiness? Decide what they want, go for it, and then don't hurt themselves when they didn't decide correctly, but make sure that they go for it and are truthful to themselves in the pursuit of it. I'm looking at this like it's a person. I really wish you guys would just like flown here, maybe give me like a 2-day notice, just like sat in front of me so I could just like gawk at you while I was doing this. So much easier. If you had to guess, what do you think the most likely way you die would be? Getting shot like every kid. I can't. I'm okay, JFK. Me, do it. Just no. Probably the way that I'll die is probably talking about something that someone doesn't like to agree with or disagree with and getting shot because of that. I plan and I'm going to be one of the top psychologists in the world, period. And I'm working towards that every day, and I'm probably going to say some things that some people don't understand and know how to deal with by the time I'm there. It's probably going to end in me not having the best way of dying, but I hope that I had the best way of living before that. Is it better for a person to have a broad knowledge base or a deep knowledge base? Sophisticated knowledge that leads you to things that you want to learn more about. So, actually, you could take this a different way. It's probably better if they do what fits them best, because if you tell an NE Dom to have like a deep knowledge base and not go broad, they're gonna hate themselves. So, you don't want that. That would not be good. So go the right way and do that. My first answer is probably better. The second one's more babble. What is the best way to train people to see the gradients in the world around them, instead of just a simplistic "this is good, this is wrong"? Yeah, no shit. The site is not a good way for that. This is good, this is wrong. As I said, entirely polarizing things the entire time. View of the world. Teach them to go in depth with the things that they look at and gain a sophisticated viewpoint rather than just thinking about how it attaches to everything else they've had. Ask honest questions instead of asking for things that already define what you've known. Is intelligence or wisdom more useful? They're both. Like, to be wise is to be intelligent. To be intelligent is to be wise. And wisdom, if you look at the 9 intelligences theory, wisdom is its type of knowledge, and it's called I think it's existential intelligence. Then you have spatial intelligence for that. Like, it's just different. Depends on what you mean by intelligence in this and wisdom. Which of your beliefs are justified and which ones aren't? I don't try to have any beliefs that are unjustified as far as I know. I would rather fully research and go into something, understand it at a deep core level, and then implement it in a way that I know is justified, rather than holding on to something that I don't. What do you contribute back to society? I believe I contribute knowledge, my ability to understand, my ability to affect, and my ability to be someone who's willing to do that. That is what I contribute back to a society. I know what I don't contribute, and I know what I take too. I am not the best with resource management. I can be like gluttonous in a way. I am not the best with interpersonal relationships all the time. I can get, not spiteful, but I can get judgmental. I'll go with those for now. I'll leave it there. What are you going to do with the one life that you have? Become a top-tier psychologist and help as many people within that position as I can. I want to help people be good to. I want to help people live lives that are good in all ways that matter. And I hope that after I become a psychologist, I can see what is necessary, and if I have lived in the way that would allow me to become someone who is worth teaching the people. Good question. Is it more important to help yourself, help your family, help your society, or help the world? Literally, if you help yourself in the best way, you do all of those things. They're the exact same. As far as, is it more important? if you help yourself in the best way, you are helping the world by the end of it. What life-altering things should every human ideally get to experience at least once in their life? Well, I haven't taken psychedelics. I do know that 1 in 3 or 1 in 2 people who have taken them have described it as the most influential thing in their life and a positive outlook. If research were to purport the result on that, that would be the result. It's at least the most educationally funded one. What do I think? I think people should get to experience the feeling of clarity at least once in their life. Get yourself to a place by yourself, if possible, that you are able to look and understand in pure bliss. I think bliss and clarity are kind of the same thing. If you're truly blissful, everything is clear. What is the Mort import? Can someone tell me, please, what the Mort import is? I'm very curious. It seems to be running around now. What is the most important goal every person should have? This is a stupid question. Not every person should have the same goal. Except maybe except for what I said earlier. Maybe you could say to live in a way that when you live in such a way that when you die, you can look back and be happy that you lived in the way that you had. Like that's a good goal. But people are going to, like, if you're talking about not long-lasting goals, like just over time and interpersonally, like, I wouldn't want everyone to have the psychology goal that I have. I don't think it would work. Is it better to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? Small fish in a big pond, because I know what question this is asking. You have the ability to grow into the bigger fish. You have more resources at hand to lend you into molding yourself into the best example, or into the best exemplar of perfection. What are you capable of achieving? Who knows? I don't know the limits of it, and I don't know what I'm going to be able to. I do know what I want, and I do know that I'm willing to do what it takes to get there. By what standards do you judge yourself? Every single one that I think is worth judging myself by. I know it's not the fucking question. By what standards do I judge myself? How I act to people. How authentic am I being? How well am I performing to what I have said I should be or need to? How am I affecting the other people around me sometimes? If they're important to me, and if they're important to society, I'll think that. Although I don't necessarily think that the people who aren't helping society need to be tossed out or caged or whatever. It's stupid. Can human nature be changed? Should it be changed? If you say it that way, can human nature, it's nature, not nurture, it can't be changed. But be very careful what you say is human nature, because you can just be a stupid human thinking you know what that is, like every other person. How replaceable are you? I personally don't think I should be replaced. I don't think anyone should. Depends on this. I'm thinking like long term. Like, do you shoot me in the head if am I replaceable? Like the replaceables. No, but if you're talking like in a work environment, depends on where I'm at. If I am performing badly, and I am obviously not in a place that is allowing me to grow in any way, then I hope I would be the most replaceable person there so I get on a better track. But if I'm in a good environment, obviously I'm not. Am I right now? Like, I don't know. I've gotten a raise in 3 weeks. Like, from the last one. You decide. Joke. Because we're stupid and limited. Why don't we as a species take more advantage of the fact that we have almost infinite knowledge available to us? One, we don't know how to mingle it in with our lives that we already understand. Because if you had infinite knowledge, how well are you going to be able to integrate that in a way that doesn't absolutely just destroy your entire perception of your current reality? Because you like that's a danger right there too. Like if you just take in all of the information at once, you're dead as far as you're concerned. Because you're going to be you're going to have anxiety for the rest of your life, motherfucker. You're gone. But if you take it in a way that allows you to actually work with it, you're fine. I'm going to stop this one right there. Good. Enough look at my eyes. No, kidding. Alright, hope this works for you guys.